just say it like a real person.
WSIC News Talk Now.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome to Community Centered, and happy Tuesday, Margie. How are you?
I am fine. I just love to hear you say that word, Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yay, it's Tuesday. We're only a few more days until the end of the week, even though it just got started. Welcome. You're listening to Community Centered. I'm your host, Debbie O'Handley, Executive Director of the Hope House Foundation, with my friend Margi Kyle, founder of Little Smiles, North Carolina. We have an exciting guest today, and I'm not going to tell you until we're done chit-chatting.
Okay.
How was your weekend?
Busy.
Yeah.
I had my first party in my new little community, in my new little home.
You were fa-la-laing?
We were.
Good girl.
It was lovely.
Good.
It was lovely, and it was nice to meet some neighbors. And
Nice.
feel settled in.
We had a neighborhood thing as well. There were over 60 women at a neighbor's house for brunch with no water. So, and she
Well, that
served
doesn't
everything on
sound
her.
like fun.
Yeah, she served everything on her china, and she was like, "If you have to go to the bathroom, go home."
Oh.
Because without water, it was really like camping in our house over the weekend. My husband was traveling, and when he came home, I said, "Pick a bathroom. Yours, this is mine, and we're going to work this out." So, we don't realize how fortunate we are that there are people in this world and even in this community that don't have
Yes.
water. And so we take a lot of things for granted. So not having it over the weekend was a constant reminder
Yes.
to me
Yeah.
that there are folks that don't have water. And so we need to just stop our complaining.
I agree.
Yeah.
And gratitude is my key word this year.
I know. We're trying really hard at Hope House to teach that.
Mhm.
We celebrated yesterday our monthly birthday parties, and two of the children, one was 9 and one was 3, had never had a party before.
Aw.
So we're trying to talk afterwards about the follow-up and the follow-through, that you thank people.
That's
and
right.
even though
Yeah.
you get these gifts. And we had some lovely folks from the Peninsula Community Foundation volunteer and serve a lovely meal with us. So it's always great to see that all come full circle and see our kids
Yes.
get blessed in a crazy kind of way. So yeah, and then Sunday, I went to the matinee show of the Charlotte Symphony, a very Thorgy Christmas. It was a drag queen symphony,
Oh,
Charlotte
my.
Symphony show, which was something way out of the park for me, but entertaining to say the least. It's that time of year, right, where you just try
I guess so.
different things.
Glad it is for
Do
you.
different things. For sure, but I'll do anything once just for fun. So yeah, we're all decorated up at Hope House. In my house, are you all decorated?
Yeah.
And I bet you have at Little Smiles a revolving door on your storage this time of year.
Well, I would love to say we do all year round,
Mm,
but this time of year especially.
I bet.
And I just brought a picture. Maybe Bill can zoom in on it. The nurses at Interim Home Health
Oh
Care,
yeah.
and they come. I love it. They come with lists of the kids they're taking care of
Mm.
and the ages, what they think they might enjoy.
Oh.
And I keep saying to them, don't take it just for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Have a toy in your trunk for a child if they're having a really bad day.
Yeah, definitely.
You can pull something out, even
Mhm.
if it's a blanket, even if it's a stuffed animal. I don't care what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But, they're seeing those kids every week. And I hate that we have 2 storage units full of toys. I don't have time to play with them all. And I want those kids to have them. Now we had hospice
Mm-hmm.
has come too with several families, and they're coming again this weekend. And that does your heart good because those kids don't have anything, and it's just going to make their.
Would you say with the economy, Margie, that you've seen an increase in requests or needs, or does it sort of just
Oh,
stay the
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because COVID was, the nurses couldn't come during COVID. Nobody
Mhm.
could.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're starting to have fun, dress up when we do pizza night.
Okay.
Tim wore that dressy jacket at
The gala.
Diamonds and Jeans.
Diamonds in denim.
In denim. Yeah,
Denim
I
and
knew that was
diamonds.
wrong. And he's come up with a costume. One of my friends that came to my party Saturday night said, I have a flamingo outfit. And I said, the kids don't care. They would love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the kids that are not well enough to go and get a piece of pizza, we take to their room with a toy. Anything to put a smile on their face is what we do best. And I want to, before we run out of time, which we've got a few more minutes, again, is to push the boat parade. It is not canceled.
Good.
It is on. We have 35 boats, and we're starting at Blythe Landing. I'm blowing the horn, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
And then we go to Ramsey Creek, and then we go to the Peninsula Yacht Club, and then we have Santa Claus at Duke Energy Explorium.
Wow.
With food trucks, and
Okay.
that's where that's the last where they'll come around, and then they go back home.
So that's this Saturday from 5:30.
Starting at 5:30, and get there a few minutes early because parking. There's lots of room.
Okay, and you're requesting folks to bring a gift,
A new toy,
or for Little Smiles.
There are boxes all around with our code on.
A
box,
QR code.
A QR code,
Okay.
so that they can donate if they didn't bring a gift.
Perfect.
But and just for your information, we are taking care of between 100 and 500 children a month.
Wow.
That's huge.
That is.
Yeah. So there's a need. It's not going to onesies and twosies. It's going to a lot of children and their siblings.
Those are impressive numbers.
Sad numbers.
Yeah, they are. And I didn't realize the amount that you were servicing on a monthly basis. It's really, it makes me happy and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
It makes me hopeful, but it also makes me smile too to know that those are 500 little hearts that are getting
Well,
some
and
smiles.
I've just reached out to all the hospitals we've worked with over the years, and they're coming back now.
Oh, good.
Which is great, and putting in requests, and we always have a huge program for technology to keep those kids in school and connected.
And will Santa be there on Saturday?
Yes, of course.
Okay. All
What's
right.
a party without Santa?
I was going to say, I mean, I don't know what kind of a yacht he arrives in. Does it look like a
Oh,
sleigh?
he'll be there.
Oh, he'll be there. Okay.
Yeah, no, because none of these boats stop at the dock. They circle around it so you can see the parade.
Gotcha. Okay.
And most people go from Blythe right over to Duke
Okay.
and wait for the boats to come again.
Okay.
And there'll be a big crowd over at the yacht club. There'll be a big crowd probably over at Ramsey Creek, too, that don't want to come back over to Duke. But
Okay. Well, despite what you're thinking, it is not canceled.
No.
It is definitely happening this Saturday, December 16th, starting at 5:30. We want you to get out there and support all of our boat captains who have been
Yes.
doing a lot of
Yeah.
planning, and get out there and support Little Smiles, and know that your contribution is making a smile on the face of one of those 500 children every month that Margie and her team are ministering to. So,
Well, and the police department has been unbelievable.
aw.
They've helped us for 5 years. Fire department has been unbelievable. And the Lake Patrol Committee.
Well, when we come back, we're going to be chatting with our guest, who is a Santa helper all year
Yes.
round here in our Lake Norman community. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Community Centered here on 105.9.
More of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Already thinking about what you're going to do in the new year? Several performances scheduled at Kane Center for the Arts are already sold out. Some of the upcoming Kane Center performances include Rocky Lynn, Forever Young, Jeff Allen, and even a Stunt Dogs experience. To see the entire lineup and to purchase your tickets, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? Speedway Christmas is back. Happening daily, the amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Santa is here. Schedule your time to take pictures between now and Christmas Eve in Birkdale. Appointments include time with Santa and 8 digital images from the professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Come enjoy mistletoe sip and shops in downtown Mooresville this Friday. Open houses, store specials, sumptuous sips, divine deals, and yummy appetizers. Oh boy! This Friday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Mistletoe Sip and Shops this Friday night, downtown Mooresville. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's pretty cold out there this morning, but we should warm up pretty good for the afternoon. Sunny skies with a high temperature right around 50 degrees is to be expected. Clouds will start to roll in as you get to the evening and overnight hours. Partly cloudy overnight with a low below freezing again down at 28 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
'Tis the season on WSIC.
It's community centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back, listeners. You're listening to Community Centered. I'm Debbie with my friend Margi, and I am delighted to introduce to our listeners a wonderful person in our community, George Searle, who is the president of the Peninsula Community Foundation. He is just one of those people that has a compassionate heart, has a generous spirit, and is really sincerely interested in the work that gets impacted with what he does and what he leads his team to decision make. You know, it's not easy to be the one that's always fundraising and raising all these dollars and dollars and dollars, and then having to make the decision on who to give that money to and where's the best place to put it in our community. But fortunately for non-for-profits like Margi and myself, we are able to partner with folks at the Peninsula Community Foundation to receive a grant from them and know that there was a lot of thought and effort and intention going into giving and raising that money. So George,
and it's made a change in so many children.
People don't realize the impact that it makes. You know, this is we have the reputation of being an affluent Lake Norman area, which is lovely. It's one of the benefits to living here around the lake. But there is also a lot of poverty and there's also a lot of need. Mm-hmm. And the need comes in many different ways, from children such as Margi serves at Little Smiles, to the homeless children that we serve, to children that are in poverty pockets within our community, to folks that are hungry and folks that don't have electricity. That's or right. Basic needs that are not being met in our community. So George has the dubious task of leading his team into making some of those decisions. Yes. So George Searle, welcome to Community Center.
Boy, this is so exciting.
We're delighted you are here. We were just in November at the Peninsula Community Foundation Gala, Denim and Diamonds, and Margi and I were both there. And, I'm sure people were stressing about what they were going to wear, bring out their denim, bring out their diamond. And so I just had I had a run-in with a crazy glue gun and some diamonds and
good.
some
Both
denim.
Of you did.
I went to the Goodwill and I got a denim jacket and I started gluing things all over it. I actually wore it last weekend, and a woman said to me, "Where did you get that?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, I have a new passion here.
Well, you can sell it for a lot of money."
I could raise some money for the PCF, so that would be kind of cool.
Well, thanks so much for having me, and good afternoon to both of you. y'all do so much. And good afternoon to your listeners. It's a great day to be here in Cornelius, North Carolina. Yeah.
Tell our listeners, George, what is the Peninsula Community Foundation?
So that's a great question. We started back in 2001, and basically some guys got together, 4 or 5 of them, just realizing how lucky that they live here in Cornelius. You know, Cornelius was a much different town back then.
I'm sure.
But it was still a great place to be, just growing, and still had a lot of issues that we have today. Maybe issues is not the right word, but opportunities.
Yeah.
And so they said that we're too lucky. We need to do something. And that year in 2001, they raised $10,000.
Wow.
So it just started from there. So since then, we've given out more than 2.7 million in this community.
That's incredible.
And in the last few years, we've gone from collecting around less than 100,000 about 4 years ago to this year. We haven't announced it, but I'll be glad to announce it today. It's going to be over $400,000.
That is
incredible.
Amazing. Yeah.
So we're so lucky, and a lot of people have started to learn about what Peninsula Community Foundation does, and we're all volunteer board members. We are 12 board members, and we have an intern that helps us with mailing. But basically, all that we collect is part of the community. We have very little debt, other than printing and mailing and such. But the funds do have to stay in the Lake Norman area.
And that's
our bylaw.
Yeah.
So we really now, if we have someone, for example, we have Beds for Kids. They're a charity down in Charlotte that helps with temporary, once someone's coming out of temporary housing and they're going into an apartment and they need a furnishing. They're in Charlotte, and they operate a lot in Charlotte, but they do also have a great impact here in the Lake Norman area. And because of that, we help them. According to them, North Mecklenburg, on the average, every night has anywhere from 3,000 to 3,500 kids sleeping on something other than a bed.
So the number is actually 5,388 at last count from a point in time count that we have.
Yeah.
And that's only children that are countable. Those are not children that we know are sleeping in cars or doubled up. It's astounding to me.
So that's just one of the things. So it's very easy how to get in touch with us, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But our primary goal is not only to be a fundraising organization, but be out there and try to learn. As you mentioned just a little bit earlier, some folks from the Peninsula Community Foundation was helping you. And so that's what we want. We want to be able to roll up our sleeves.
Yeah.
We're all retired people, and some of us have some skills. I don't know what skills I have, but a lot of folks have great skills in personnel or HR or IT. And y'all have been to one of our best practices luncheons.
Wonderful.
And so
very well run.
We thank you for that. And basically what we do is bring organizations together, charities together, and it's a best practice. Learn from each other.
Yes.
We all have great secrets. We just need to share them.
Absolutely.
And
tell me about George Searle, the man. Why does George Searle, retired, who could be on the golf course or anywhere, commit himself to serving in a way like this in his community? What does it mean to you?
Well, if I thought you were going to answer that, I'd stay home. Ask that question. It's all of us. We all have been touched by somebody, something. We all have that thankfulness to somebody. And I grew up in Brazil. My parents we had enough. We had enough. We had a great life. I went to a good school. I had a great time, but there was things that we didn't have, and a lot of people helped my mother raised me. I was one of those kids that needed a village to be raised, and it taught me not to take anything for granted. My mother, just water. We were talking about water, and we've had a lot of rain, and the lake is down. Just to drink water, she would filter the water, she would boil the water, and then we'd put it in the refrigerator to drink. And today here, we all would just go to your refrigerator or go to your faucet and turn it on. And that's in today's world that still happens. And so I've always tried to take everything for granted and not take it for granted, that is. And I love it. We have a great board. I'd love to say all those names of everybody out there.
There you
go. Andy, let's see. Oh, that's right. You got it on television. Andy Griffin, Susan Hartman, and Ron Bruce, and Tom McGinnis, and Dan Doneron, Caroline Stevens, Pam Varghese, whose event we just had, Gary's Age, and Vince Altamira, Bill Morgan, and Nicole Mansell. Those people have the same passion, and there are so many out there that have the same passion. All of our donors, this year we've had 143 donors give something.
That's wild.
And that's passion
crazy.
right there.
Yeah.
So, and we also have a great list of sponsors that come out, corporations here.
You've got over 40 some right there.
Yeah.
Maybe too small, Bill, to see, but if you go on their website, you can see all listed there. And then they also list all of your sponsors too.
Right. Those sponsors are very good to us.
I wondered why I got a little Tito's on the way out. Now I know why.
Yes.
It's good to make friends with Tito's.
That's right. That's
For
right.
sure. So how long have you been doing this, George? How long have you been serving?
I got on the board about 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you always the president?
No. I've been president for the last 3 years. But
How do you get voted off the island?
that's right. That's right. But president is just a title.
Yes.
It takes all 12 of us to operate. We all have got unique skills. We all have different passions. Andy Griffin. She's all over the place.
Andy is a machine.
Yes.
She's on the Novant board with
That's
me.
right.
Yeah.
She reached out to us during COVID at Hope House, and she said, what can we do? And we kind of put our heads together, and she said, I know, we're going to do 30 days of meals at Hope House.
Yeah.
And so we got a deck box so that the meals could be delivered 30 days on time, every day, 5:30. There was a meal, a hot meal in our box when people couldn't get to grocery stores and we didn't know what was happening next. But Andy was a well-oiled machine that went out there and got 30 people to sign up and do it.
She is. And we have Gary and Dick who go after corporate sponsorships, like they're still looking for business on their own, in their past history. So everybody has a different skill. It takes us all. So it's not about me.
Well, if it's going to be a well-oiled machine like yours is, it takes team effort.
You have to have a heart to serve for sure. And it's at that heart, it shows in the board of 12 and then your sponsors and other folks that they're definitely a community, and a community comes together with a common resource. So when we come back from
no
break,
egos in there.
no egos allowed. But when we come back, we're talking with George Searle, the president of the Peninsula Community Foundation. We're going to learn a little bit more about the organizations that they help out and what they do. And I know that it is a funding cycle over, and I know there are a few anxious people waiting to find out if they've got some money. Maybe we'll get some information from George. Maybe not. When we come back,
all right.
We'll see.
Community Center with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle will return after this short break on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Senator Tom Tillis is harnessing the power of clean energy to create a stronger America. Building a clean energy economy will create high-wage American manufacturing jobs and expand opportunities for hardworking families to thrive and prosper. Investing in clean energy innovation will strengthen our electric grid and make it more resilient against natural disasters and foreign hackers. Senator Tom Tillis understands that clean energy is vital to America's economic and national security. To become energy independent, America needs an all-of-the-above energy strategy. Wind, solar, and homegrown biofuels can help break our dependence on foreign energy, create a booming economy, and protect our environment for generations to come. America can lead the world in clean energy innovation. Call 202-224-3121. Thanks, Senator Thom Tillis, for building America's clean energy economy. Paid for by Americans for a balanced budget.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's pretty cold out there this morning, but we should warm up pretty good for the afternoon. Sunny skies with a high temperature right around 50 degrees is to be expected. Clouds will start to roll in as you get to the evening and overnight hours. Partly cloudy overnight with a low below freezing again down at 28 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
This holiday season, find all kinds of deals at Target. Discover sweet deals on toys and small appliances, big deals on clothing and beauty, plus so much more. At Target, get what you need for the holidays. Find new deals each week for everyone on your list and get it all fast with free drive up. Score low prices and great deals all season long. Now at Target. Exclusions apply.
Hey, this is Travis Kelce, NFL tight end and proud member of the Lowe's home team. Lowe's knows when you've got the best price, you've already won. That's why we offer the lowest price guarantee. If you find a better price online or in store, we'll match it. Now you can score on the top brands from the Lowe's home team picks, like Scotts, LG, and DeWalt. So take on your projects with confidence. Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retail partner of the NFL.
Price match applies to same item, current price of qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It's community centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to Community Centered. We are having a wonderful discussion here with George Searle, and we would welcome phone calls at 844-STUDIO-4. So please do not hesitate if you have a question for any of us here. I'm Margi Kyle, Debbie O'Hanley, and George, our guest. You have done so much for the community, and I love your mission is to help local nonprofits and anybody in the community that really is in need of help.
That's right.
Not only just the youth, it's older people too.
Yes, yes.
I thought to myself, there's hope for me in a couple years.
Who are you saying is old, Margie?
I said a couple years.
Yeah, it's all in your mind.
Well,
that's
okay.
right. No, we help. Escapes being the name of the charity in Davidson that picks up seniors and takes them to doctors and grocery stores.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Senior Community Connections.
There you go. Yeah. And they're great folks, and we found them by chance.
Yes.
And so we want to. We wish we had all the money in the world to give out, and but we really want to just improve everybody's life, and if it's a project like y'all have been involved with Cornelius Early Scholars, the new daycare or after school program that just started in August by Pastor Judge, and that's a great mission, and that just happened. everyone came together and helped. It wasn't just the Panissa Community Foundation that got support
But
from
it
a
is
lot of
everybody
people.
coming together.
Yeah, it
I
is.
mean, it's not just Little Smiles. I
No.
look at all the kids that need volunteer hours that come and work in our storage unit, and they're learning so much as well.
Sure.
So it's a great opportunity for the community to grow in many different ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it's a give and take, and
It always has been,
Yep,
but
yep.
you give more.
That's right. You know, there's that old saying that let's see if I can remember. It says, "You can give without loving, but you can't love without giving."
That's so true. That's beautiful.
that.
Yeah. Very well
So,
said.
But you know, there's great opportunity out there for everybody, and I tell you, once you get started, you can't stop.
No, you can't. Gets in
And
your blood.
That's right. And you tell somebody, and they tell somebody else, and that's the passion that.
What's that like, George, to be on the giving end of things? Because Marky and I are on the receiving end, right? And we do, you know, I give to other, I mean, I'm part of this community too, right? So I like to give back as well. And it's not always about Hope House, right? Or Little Smiles.
Right.
So what does it feel like to be in your position to make those phone calls or emails to folks and say, hey, guess what? We've got some money for you.
You know, that's certainly the great part of that. But the best part is just being able to receive what they're doing. And that gives you goosebumps more than anything.
Yeah.
Because being part of a solution, being part of someone who doesn't eat but every other month, or excuse me, every other day, or and just seeing that that's possible, that's better than anything. Or seeing someone write us a check or send us a credit card over the our website, and they just said, I never knew that you do this, or I never knew that here in Peninsula foundation has to exist, or other foundations have to exist in our community. That's you know, sometimes I think that's a shame, and sometimes I think that's a great honor to be able to educate people that what we need, and that's true not only in Cornelius or Huntersville or
Anywhere.
Davidson, anywhere in the United States.
Yes.
I know at the Hope House, for us, we've applied at the Peninsula Community Foundation for years. You've been generous with helping build a fence, helping do a deck, doing all those kind of things that, you know, nobody wants to fund, right? Certain people want like the big impact kind of thing, and those are pivotal things that we couldn't do without. And this past year, we applied and were graciously gifted $10,000 to create a transportation fund. And what that fund we used it for at Hope House was the women in our program needed to apply for financial aid, because we're all about not just giving a handout. We want to make sure that there's a real need and people can justify that. And so in our case, when a woman comes to us and she's been living in her car and she's been taking care of other things like safety and food, the last thing that she has money to do or can afford is to repair her car. So when they come to us, you know, and there's some huge obstacles with transportation, and, you know, without your car, you can't get to work, you can't get to doctor's appointments, you can't bring your children to school. So we took care of creating a fund, having the women apply to that, and that has been a game changer because transportation is pivotal. It's one of the biggest obstacles between that and childcare that will prevent someone from becoming stable. So thank you for allowing us that generous opportunity to do that, because without it, we would have really struggled and said, I'm sorry, I don't know what you can do. And, you know, and then we get into that vicious cycle of spiraling down. That's one of the ways I know that you've impacted the Hope House. And I know, Margie, you've been a recipient of some generosity from them as well.
Yes, we've had 2 grants from them.
That's wonderful.
And we apply with keeping the kids connected with tablets and technology, because I cannot tell you how many we give out in a month.
I bet.
At least 300, and that's expensive.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, but the kids, if they're in the hospital for a long time,
they need it.
That and the kids who are in accidents and need not only the laptop but the mouthpiece so that they can work with the laptop. They're all expensive items, but it makes all the difference in the world in those kids.
Well, technology can be a really good thing because I know that we are seeing autism on the rise to children that have experienced trauma. And at Hope House, if you are nonverbal autistic, you need the iPad or some kind of technology to communicate with.
Well, you know, it was interesting because my cousin was in an accident when he was 16 and he broke his neck and he's paralyzed from the neck down. And so when I get a special child, especially at Levine, Carrie always calls me and goes, I've got a child who's just been in an accident. I go and I show them pictures of my cousin, all the artwork he's painted. I give them brushes they can put in their mouth, paint they can paint. And then David wants to connect with them and talk to them.
That's awesome.
So it's a beautiful bond. It's again, people connecting.
Well, and I like to, when I'm thinking of the technology where you shared something for an 11-year-old boy that we had at Hope House, you gave me a tablet that you shared with him. So that's one nonprofit helping another nonprofit.
Right.
And that to me is what the true definition of community is, right?
Well, we help Ada Jenkins, we help anybody who has a need.
We come together to, help each other and to help share those resources because we know that you're rooted in principles of community. And that's like-minded people coming together with a shared common goal of spreading good.
Yeah, Smithville
I'm still waiting for you to come with your kids, and I still have to tell the story. The first time you came to our storage, I gave Debbie the biggest monkey I've ever seen. And Debbie said, oh, my kids won't play with that. Nobody will play with it. And I said, give it a week. If nobody touches it or plays with it, I'll take it back. Well, there was a little girl being very naughty, and her mother said, you go sit over there next to Monkey and tell Monkey what you did wrong. She stood up after whispering in Monkey's ear and said, Monkey said I wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that monkey that left a pretty big impact on some little kids' lives, for sure. It became a really safe space for a lot of children. So,
well, you know that some children, we're talking about children and the impact, some people have never seen the Lake Norman around here, never been on the lake.
Yeah.
And so Smithville is a perfect community that a lot of people get help, and they get help from a lot of different organizations. And we've had a contact with them around sending kids to the YMCA summer camp.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And just to see those kids see the water for the first time.
That's our friend Lisa Mayhew Jones, right? She runs a tight ship over there, and she makes sure that people are really getting what they need, and such a strong advocate for her community. She's a role model for all of us.
It's like Big Day at the Lake too.
Yes. David Yoakum and his passion for that.
But it's wonderful to see, as you were saying, how the nonprofits come together in this area to see who needs what.
I don't think there's a corner of our community that the Peninsula Community Foundation doesn't touch, George, from feeding folks, from educating folks, from tutoring to camps, food, smiles, you name it. I think they're doing it, and I think that
there's the list.
When we come back from break, we want to talk about some of those folks and the impact that they're making. And I know from my personal experience, there's a lot here on the line, from hospice to the Make It Impact Foundation. All of it is really amazing nonprofits, and we're going to hear a little bit more from you on how to get in touch with the Peninsula Community Foundation.
Yes,
absolutely.
And if folks who are listening might want to make a contribution or learn more about how they can get involved, you can always call the studio at 844-STUDIO-4. George will take your call. Margie will take your call, or I will take your call through Bill, and we will learn about how we can make more hope happen in our community and put a smile on someone's face, and not just children, but there's some adults too. So when we come back from break, we're talking with George Searle, president of the Peninsula Community Foundation.
More of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Already thinking about what you're going to do in the new year? Several performances scheduled at Kane Center for the Arts are already sold out. Some of the upcoming Kane Center performances include Rocky Lynn, Forever Young, Jeff Allen, and even a Stunt Dogs experience. To see the entire lineup and to purchase your tickets, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? Speedway Christmas is back. Happening daily, the amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Santa is here. Schedule your time to take pictures between now and Christmas Eve in Birkdale. Appointments include time with Santa and 8 digital images from the professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Come enjoy mistletoe sip and shops in downtown Mooresville this Friday. Open houses, store specials, sumptuous sips, divine deals, and yummy appetizers. Oh boy! This Friday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Mistletoe Sip and Shops this Friday night, downtown Mooresville. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's pretty cold out there this morning, but we should warm up pretty good for the afternoon. Sunny skies with a high temperature right around 50 degrees is to be expected. Clouds will start to roll in as you get to the evening and overnight hours. Partly cloudy overnight with a low below freezing again down at 28 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Stop dreaming about the perfect lawn and make it a reality. Drum Landscape Supply now offers personalized lawn plans. Visit drumlandscapesupply.com and collaborate with our experts. Drum Landscape Supply, your local one-stop landscape shop.
Nothing quite like Christmas. Lights, shopping, and WSIC.
Community Centered continues now. Here are your hosts, Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle, on the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to Community Centered. I'm Debbie O'Hanley, your host, with my friend Margi Kyle, a hostess. And we are here with George Searle, president of Peninsula Community Foundation. And we've been talking about all the good that that foundation does in our community. And I know that we've mentioned some people like Beds for Kids. And I don't know we could run through the whole list of folks that you help, from Ada Jenkins to Angels and Sparrows to Caterpillar Ministries. And, I think what folks need to know, that when we receive the generosity of good people like George and his team, these are dollars that are invested in not only our organization, but in our families and individuals, with the goal of helping people get back up, whether that's feeding them, tutoring them, educating them, buying them technology. The multiple people that I see on this list in front of me: hospice, Safe Alliance, the Boy Scouts of Special Olympics, the Y. These are all pivotal, amazing people in our community that are advocating for folks that need a hand up and not a handout. And I'm so proud to be a part of it, to know that it's sort of like a great big sisterhood, a brotherhood of folks that we know that not only are supporting us with your dollars, but with your volunteerism and your places that you make those impacts. So thank you again, George, for that. But how would someone, if they're listening, they're a new non-for-profit in our community, they want to learn how they can get involved with the Peninsula Community Foundation? How does that happen?
Yeah, very easy. We have a website, yourpcf.org. And there's a grant tab, about 3 or 4 pages, fill in the blanks kind of thing. You don't need to go to grant writing school or anything like that. And it's very specific around a project that you need, we'd rather not be someone on your profit and loss that requires an operating expense yearly. We rather do a special project or a project that you're looking to do to enhance the community. Running the business certainly needs dollars, and we can look at that. But our focus is more around providing something that the community doesn't have quite yet. And so we have 3 cycles in during the year that we look at. And we have one coming up tonight, in fact.
Wow. That will be an interesting meeting.
Yes, it is. We have 8 or 9 applications, grant applications come in from different organizations around Lake Norman. And they all operate, obviously, here, and 50% of their or more of their efforts are here, I should say. And so that's going to be an exciting night. You know, you get to learn from each of us are a liaison to each of the charities. So it's as a liaison responsibility, we're the cheerleader. We're the one that makes sure that we know everything about each of the charities. And that way we can convince the whole group of the board that this is the one, and my charity is better than yours. So
there you go.
Not really, but we all want to help everybody. And
is there a vote that happens?
It
or
is.
How does it look?
Yeah,
what does it look like?
There is. It goes first to a chair, community chair, which is Vince Altamura, and he'll bring us all together, and we look at each of the applications, and we come up with a recommendation.
Okay.
And so we take it to the board. Now, the board can take our recommendation and say, yes, we agree, or no, and we need more questions, or no, you said that they need 10,000, but I think they really need 15,000. And so the board will then say, we'll give them 15,000. That happens a lot.
Okay.
And so it is a group effort, but the grant committee does a lot of the homework before it gets to the board.
Well, the first time I got the grant, Tom knocked on my door.
Yep.
And I let him in, and he said, I just had to come personally and tell you that you have a grant for $10,000. I was absolutely thrilled.
I think that's what makes you unique, George, is that there is that personal touch.
Very much so.
When we got the transportation fund, George met me with a bad knee at Christian Brothers, where we gifted one of the young ladies with a car and had new brakes put on it and new this. And if any of you have had that expense, know how expensive that is. But you were an actual live person presenting something.
Yeah.
What I remember, that young lady was driving all the way to Pineville, if I believe, with no brakes almost, and the tires were in bad shape. So.
No brakes, bald tires, no windshield wipers, and a headlight that was out.
Oh,
and transporting a 3-year-old.
Waiting to happen.
Yes, and we prayed every day for her safety. So she's now working in Davidson.
Oh, good.
With her car that got all fixed up. So we're excited about that. So that personal touch I think is really significant. That you are part of the community as much as you are directly related to the folks that you're sharing these gifts with.
Well, plus you have the party to raise money.
Right.
And
Friendsgiving is what we call it. The weekend, the Saturday before Thanksgiving.
With so many people that have benefited from your services, all getting together and sharing experiences.
Yeah, again, we always come back to this afternoon. It's all about team effort, right? Can't do it with one person. Can't be successful without everybody else, and it's so true for us. And that quite frankly, if I'm looking at all pictures of the board, that's their passion. That's our passion is trying to learn who needs help, and we try to get our website, get more clicks to it. But we have a lot of great things on our website and keep up to date with stores.
What's that website name again?
Sure, it's Your PCF, YOURPCF at .org.
Okay.
YourPCF.org.
Okay.
And that luncheon you had for that was tremendous.
Yeah, that's where we do the best practices.
It is, and I had several nonprofits call me and said, "Could you send me your company policies?" I said, "I'm happy to do that."
Yeah, that's when that's one thing that all of us, when we run a business, which is a charity, is a business, sometimes we don't have the aptitude around
right.
HR or
Yes.
legal or something. And so now we're sitting in front of a computer trying to find out some best practices there.
Yeah.
Why not just bring everybody together who does that?
Well, I said, I've got a great grant
Yeah,
writer, and I
that's right.
shared her name.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that was
So-
a genius idea.
It was.
Well, it's everybody's. So we hope to do that. We plan to do that twice next year in
I hope you
2024.
do, because I thought it was very beneficial.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. Sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, some organizations are kind of pitted against each other, right? When there's only a certain amount of money. So, but the fact is that you don't do that at the Peninsula Community Foundation. You bring others together and provide those resources and support alongside of each other, which is
Well,
the
and I
best part
think
about
that's
that.
part of Lake Norman.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, we just are all here to. How many times have I said to you, "What can I do to help?" And I'm here for you.
Many times.
Yeah.
Many,
Now I'm
many
begging
times.
you to come to my store. Stop
Well,
it.
I'm going to tell you
Stop coming.
a fast, really Lake Norman quick story. So last week, Wednesday, I had one of our residents living in the Joy Cottage come to me and say, Miss Debbie, I've saved my money. I found an apartment. I'm moving out. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Usually there's a process and we send a referral to Beds for Kids. And I said, you know what? I'm sorry, but you can move out. That's great. But we weren't going to have anything to give you because Beds for Kids is a 6 weeks referral, et cetera, et cetera. 2 minutes later, Connie from
She was
Little
at our meeting and
Smiles,
she had to leave. Yeah.
She gave me a call and said, hey, I'm a realtor and I'm closing on a condo. You wouldn't happen to have anybody that needs a condo full of furniture, would you? I said, how fast can you donate it? So literally within 48 hours, that young lady moved from Hope House into her own home with a brand new
Furnished.
start, furnished. She's a phlebotomist and works a 12-hour shift. Came home from her shift at night to her, the lights on, pictures hung on her wall, and her home decorated. I love Lake Norman and how we come together and synchronicity of our spirits and pull it together for someone in need. And what we demonstrate by doing that is the great hope that we all have, right? That we can learn to play and love and live together in a community that we all love. And I think that is one of the great things about Lake Norman.
Yes.
Is that we all love
I
it
agree.
here. It's a beautiful community filled with generous hearts like our board members on the Peninsula Community Foundation and all their friends that come and
That's
support
right. Well, don't forget them.
and give money too. So I would encourage you to look at yourpcf.org and see if there's an opportunity there for you to volunteer, a way for you to contribute, or a way for you to serve, or if you're a non-for-profit and you're listening and you need the generosity of our friends at the PCF, that you would look into that and see what you could do to help get your organization some
And I will
dollars.
add to that, the Chamber of Commerce has a meeting twice every 2 months for nonprofits in this area, and it's an excellent way to go. You don't have to be a member. Just call and let them know you want to get on the list to go to that meeting for nonprofits.
Absolutely.
And that's a great way to meet nonprofits in your area.
I think so. George, what are you doing for Christmas?
Oh, our daughter who lives in Portland, Oregon, came yesterday with our grandson and new grandbaby daughter, and then our 2 sons in Charlotte's coming up. So, I spent the morning playing. In fact,
Peekaboo.
Peekaboo, but I also put in the work. I had, everybody has leaves this time of year. And so we did some leaf raking,
That's
and he enjoyed it
amazing.
for some reason.
Well, we want to wish you and your wonderful board a very Merry Christmas.
Well, thank
and
you.
thank
Thanks
you for what you do in our community.
That's nothing compared to what both of you do for our community. You all are
Can't do it without you.
Oh, but you're right in the trenches every day, and come up with some great ideas every day, and then you pick it up and do it again the next day and the next day. And so we thank you
Thank
for
you.
all that you do.
Thank you.